All right, so let's start with the big story that we are tracking on WION. This is a tragic story that's happened today. An Air India flight carrying 242 people crashed shortly after it took off in Western India's Ahmedabad city. Now, Ahmedabad City Police Chief has said that there appear to be no survivors and 204 bodies have now been found. Now, these are the final moments. The plane took off from the runway and then it gained about 825 feet in altitude. Till this moment, everything looked normal and routine. But soon, the plane started to lose altitude. It was not gaining altitude anymore and then slowly started to descend onto the ground before eventually it crashed into a residential area full of buildings and exploded in a massive fireball. The Boeing 787 Dreamliner, operating as Flight 171 that was bound for London, went down just outside the airport's perimeter, minutes or seconds after departing. Now, the plane, in fact, took off at 13:39 Indian Standard Time from the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport. Now, on board this plane were 230 passengers, 10 cabin crew members and 2 pilots. The airline has confirmed the nationalities of all those who were on board. There were 169 Indian nationals, there were 53 British nationals and 7 Portuguese nationals and 1 Canadian national. Now, India's aviation regulator, the DGCA, has said that the aircraft issued a mayday call before it crashed. Now, the plane in fact struck the rooftop of a residential complex which housed a doctor's hostel belonging to the state-run BJ Medical College. Now, images from the site show the aircraft tearing through the dining area of the hostel. Now, images from the scene depict the charred debris, thick black smoke billowing near the airport and emergency personnel rushing victims on stretchers. The Indian Army, the National Disaster Response Force and local police have joined the firefighters in search and rescue operations.
मेरी बहन मेरा बनेगी मेरा सिस्टर दोनों है अंदर और हमको जाने नहीं दे रहे, सारे रास्ते ब्लॉक कर दिए हमारे इधर से।
नहीं वो लंदन जा रहे थे क्या?
लंदन जा रहे थे वो, मेरी भांजी है, हम लंदन वो वहाँ जा रहे थे। भांजी ने फोन किया मम्मी पापा वो फ्लाइट में है, तो हम इधर नरोड़ा से सीधा दौड़ के इधर आए हैं।
मेरे नड़ंद है और नंदो है, दोनों है।
वो क्या करने जा रहे थे और क्या?
वो उसकी लड़की के पास जा रहे थे।
किस तरह से आपको पता चला और क्या किस तरह?
उसकी बेटी ने मेरे को कॉल किया कि मेरी मम्मी पापा आ रहे हैं, मेरे को भी मालूम नहीं था, सरप्राइज थी ना इसलिए।
The Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has termed the crash to be heartbreaking beyond words. India's External Affairs Ministry has confirmed multiple fatalities, though the final casualty count is still awaited.
What has happened in Ahmedabad is a very tragic accident. We have lost a lot of people. We extend our deepest condolences to all those who have lost their loved ones. There are, I understand, several foreigners also. Those updates you will receive from the relevant departments, Ministry of Civil Aviation, Air India and others. They are putting out something, I guess, soon. That's the latest that I can share. We also, it's still an evolving situation. Rescue operations are on, so you'll have to wait a little more time for exact details to be put out.
Now, Amit Shah, India's Union Minister, visited the crash site and then took stock of the situation there. He's also meeting with the local officials. Now, the aircraft was under the command of Captain Sumit Sabharwal, who had over 8,200 hours of flight experience, and First Officer Clive Kundar, who had 1,100 hours of flight experience. The Dreamliner had first entered into service in 2011, and this marks the model's first crash ever anywhere in the world. Now, this downed aircraft had flown its maiden journey in 2013 and was delivered to Air India in January 2014. Now, Boeing has said that it is aware of the incident and is gathering more details. The world leaders, including Russian President Vladimir Putin, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, the European Union's President Ursula von der Leyen, the Maldivian President Mohamed Muizzu, and officials in Beijing, Tehran, etc., have extended their condolences. The British Foreign Minister David Lammy has expressed deep sorrow at the tragedy that has unfolded. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.